become reality. At Set to Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Good morning.
Another morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, best friend?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I've been up for hours. One of those mornings. It's not bad. It's just, when you just have everything is high up here. So,
I'm feeling it.
I'm thinking the retirement might know. Just kidding.
You're like, actually, that does sound like a really good plan. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Well, welcome everyone to Set to Love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for being here today. And today our topic is talking about retirement. Let me see if I have that quote.
If you don't, I do.
Okay, go for it. I'll let you read it.
Okay, so it's right here.
This is where this came from, everyone out there.
Yeah, this is where this came from, everybody. And it says, plan to live, not retire. Mm-hmm. Retirement is an unfortunate word. It implies the resignation from activity participation in life. Take a different viewpoint. Consider what your life as an evolving, continually enriching experience. Mm-hmm. Collaborate the wisdom born from your experience. Use the wisdom to constantly grow at a pace of your choosing. So I think what we need to talk about is, what does this mean to you and I?
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, forever, growing up, when you think about retirement, at least for me, and I would think about my parents and retiring, it was like at some point, 65, maybe between 60 and 65, which is funny that's you're turning 60 this month. And here we are talking about this, but it was like your life just sort of, you kind of just went off to die somewhere. It was like you don't work anymore, and you either just are golfing somewhere if you were lucky enough to make enough money to be able to do that. Otherwise, you kind of just stop contributing to the world. And I think that just seems so sad. Like, I can't even imagine
that sounds really depressing.
Retiring. But that's what it was like when I was a kid, and I would think about my parents and retiring. A, I don't know that that's even possible these days, really. But B, why would you want to? I mean,
I would think,
are you tired in life?
My view, no, I'm not tired. I can't even imagine retiring yet. Maybe you could retire from one type of a job and, like if something happened from our podcast and it brought us into some kind of way that we could do it as a job, then that you would that's a great example of transitioning into something else that you're passionate about, because then we'd still have flow, because I'm very passionate and I have flow in my workplace now. Mm-hmm. But I think when I think of retirement, I feel like I'm semi-retired now, even though I work.
Because you're not raising kids, or what makes you feel that way?
Even though I'm busier than ever, I work a 3 or 4 day week. Mm-hmm. I'm with Harper 2 days a week. Mm-hmm. And I feel like because I have somewhat control over my schedule, meaning I have to still be where I have to be on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I do need to work. But like even the next 2 weekends, the next 2 Saturdays, I just booked them out. Mm-hmm. So I have a lot of control over my schedule and what I do. Now, you may have to work harder the next week, But I guess mentally in my head, I feel like retirement just gives you a lot more choices. I never want to stop doing something that
but
you at least
think, Shelly, don't you think that's just the life of an entrepreneur? I mean, my life is different. It's not set up the same as yours, but I work from home. I manage my own schedule. I could be as busy or as bored as I want to be. And it's, my income is just reflective off of how much time and energy I put into what I'm doing for the most part. I mean, COVID definitely affected stuff for sure. But I think being an entrepreneur, you get the benefit of having your own schedule. And maybe, I guess, if you don't work 9 to 5, like for someone else, then if you're always working for someone else, I could see where you would not want to do that anymore, where you would just get tired of waking up every day, going into some office, doing something. And if there's anything that COVID taught us, it's that there's just a different way of living and existing. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs in some ways might feel like semi-retired, even though they probably work harder in a lot of ways, but it's at their own discretion and time.
Well, my other view on retirement is when it's the right age. I kind of think retirement isn't 60. I think, 65, 68 is retirement for
what
me.
Does that even look like for you?
So what that looks like for me is I'll no longer do skincare, probably.
Okay.
And my eyes probably won't be able to see the face as well, right? Yeah. But that's like when I get to say I'm done. But that doesn't mean I'm done. Like, I don't want to just sit around and then go on a few vacations and then all week. Like, I want to still be doing this podcast. I still want to learn about things I'm passionate. I still want to experience things that I have never tried before. I still want to be a better person and work on,
and that's what the quote here is in that part of the book where it says, live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. And that was Gandhi who said that. But even in that quote, it says, use that wisdom to constantly grow at a pace of your choosing. So it's just like, what is life if you're not constantly evolving and growing and making new memories and having new experiences and stepping into new spaces? I just feel like that's what life should be about. I mean, when I see people who are running triathlons and they're 75, 80 years old, I think it's never too late to start something or try something or
and let's take my mom, for instance. She's retired. Okay. She'll be 79. So obviously she's retired.
Yep.
But she even herself, and she doesn't have a lot of money. So she has got restraints on different things she can do.
Right.
But she always has tried to, like, I'll say to her, Mom, you're being too much of a cow's potato. You've been home for too many days. Like, you need to do something. And so that's why I do think that if you don't use it, you kind of lose it. And then you get happy enough sitting on a couch all day, either being on Facebook or, it's just, to me, it can become a bad habit. So I think that when people retire, they still should get up and get showered. They still should have exercise in their life and go for a walk. I think they should watch, their diet, just like I always have to. Right. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you still should have these things that you're accountable to keep your brain healthy, to keep your mind active. And I was, I don't remember where I was, but I heard something about retirement. And one of the things the lady said is that you should have at least 5 hours a week, something that you're very passionate, doesn't have to be work, but something that you're passionate. It could be painting. It doesn't matter what it is, but 5 hours a week of something that you need to be there. If it's cooking class, if it's I don't know, anything. You want to learn a new language, something that really gives you that
purpose,
because
a purpose to, like, show up someplace, right?
Yeah.
Be accountable to someone. And otherwise it's too easy to just melt away and then not do anything, just wither your life away.
Yeah. So for me, I just feel like I think retirement doesn't have to be that your life is like, okay, I'm not working anymore and I'm not going to do anything. Like, I think.
Well, I think everyone's dream is that retirement would be traveling the world or taking a year on a cruise ship and living on a cruise ship for a whole year. But I think even as much traveling, like my grandmother travels or used to travel quite a bit. And she'd go on these long cruises, like a couple weeks, or she would go to Cancun for a couple weeks, or she would do these kinds of trips. But I think she really liked being home and reading and just spending time with family. And it was just slower paced. But I don't know that there was as much eagerness to continue to learn or grow as much as there was just having nice experiences. You know,
Well,
like that's
that, and I think like a really peaceful thing that my mom likes to do, and I'll say, Mom, get up today then and work in your garden.
Yes.
Just to be out in the fresh air,
yes,
to be, doing something is much better than sitting in front of a TV. And
I agree.
And that's not a big high quality of life. Or if you're just, my mom is, I have to say, I try to get her out and I'll say, Mom, I'm running errands. You want to come with? And she'll get ready real quick and she'll come with me and she'll say, I'm so glad you got me out today. So I think it's just, when you're my age and my mom's age, I now see there is a big difference though in that age, like she doesn't drive at night. Like they have a lot more restraints at that age versus 65. You still feel like, well, I'm older, but I don't feel old.
Yes, you can do anything still. You still have, you can have
with my mom
in front of you.
She feels older. And I mean, I'm speaking for her and she's just adorable, but it's a much slower pace.
My last thought for you, just really quick, I know we're going to get going here, but is that like some kind of, I don't want to say a warning for you, but is that something that you're thinking, okay, I don't want to end up where I just have to get dragged out of the house to go run an errand. I want to keep my mind and my life going. So are you trying to be more cognizant of that, do you think, in like the next 10 years?
What I want to do is my last place that I want to live and move or whatever. I want it to have a community of things that I can do. Like, I don't want to just live in a house, in a regular neighborhood per se. I kind of want to have a neighborhood like they have in the villages in Florida, where you're in a community of people that are there are younger people, but it's a lot of people of retirement. But there's over 3,000 clubs at the villages.
Wow.
And they have music and entertainment they call them squares, at 4 different squares. So, and they have eat dinner this at a discounted price, go here for this. They have movie theaters. They have everywhere you can go in a golf cart. So if you can't drive, you could drive a golf cart and be safer. And so I really want to be around people. I mean, this is my hopes, is I want to be one of those people that plays bridge and games on this day. I want to go out and play golf on Thursdays. Like, I want to have an active life. I don't mind having a day to stay home. But I definitely don't ever want to settle in, and which I didn't do. COVID is a very good example of that. Yep. I got up every morning and I take a shower. I put my makeup on. I do my hair. Yep. I start my day like I'm going somewhere. And people will say, where are you going? And I'm like, I do this for me.
Got a date with my dog.
Right? This is for me to feel good and fresh.
I love it. And you're a great example of that, and just how showing that, you can just take really good self-care of yourself and self-love. So thank you for that. And yay, what a great conversation today. Yeah. I love it. All right.
Well, I love you.
Do you want to tell people where they can find us?
You guys can find us at settolove.com. You can also email us or ask us questions. For us, we would love some of your input on some of our shows. We're at settolovepodcast@gmail.com. We're here every weekday mornings, everyone. Happy to be here and share different ideas to make your life better and have a flow life. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Love you all. Have a great day, everyone.